It's about like how you buy it, I guess, and like the process that you mentally take before you make a new purchase. So like I still purchase fast fashion, but if I do purchase it, it's typically on like a secondhand store.
Hey. Oh, she's chewing. She's just giving you guys a little ASMR.
Yeah.
Some ASMR for you. Julie usually says it. I didn't know she was expecting me to say it.
I wasn't sure if you were gonna say hey or hello.
Oh.
Hey everyone.
Hey.
1, 2, 3.
Hey everyone.
Welcome back.
Welcome to another episode.
Welcome back. Welcome to another episode of
Bulgogipod. Oh, it's getting more angelic, ethereal. Julie is enjoying some dinner right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna take another bite.
Some miyeokguk. If you guys don't know, that's seaweed soup. I know it sounds a little like not as tasty as you would expect, but it is so good. Honestly, I'm smelling it right now and I'm like, ooh.
It's that sesame oil in there, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and when like the mom uses
The
really
mom?
soft. Yeah.
Just the mom. Not my mom, but just the mom.
My mom is the mom. When the mom uses really soft pieces of seaweed, like I hate the chunky ones.
Oh, yeah. The one with like the stem.
Yeah. I don't really want texture in my seaweed.
Yeah,
you know,
I
I
agree.
want it to be slimy. Like I want it to be just like
Melts in your mouth.
you know?
Yeah,
like that.
I don't even want to have to chew it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, so let me try to check in with pieces of rice stuck between every single tooth.
Okay, guys, we had to take a short pause because we had to go get Shirley. We had to get her some parking. I don't know if you guys like know LA, but like it's so bad here, and so Shirley did the amazing job of asking us what the parking situation is like beforehand.
My parking anxiety could not.
No, actually, it's so bad. And so
Well, because then I was talking about, you know, my car ride to work, and I actually tried a different like makeup look. Okay, actually that's false. That's absolutely false. Wait, I take that back. It wasn't a different makeup look. I used a lot of new products.
Okay.
Because obviously by the time this episode comes out, the Sephora sale would have been way past. Yeah, like it would have been just long time ago.
Right.
So I ordered my usual. Right, I ordered the usual, my primer and my tinted moisturizer, and then TikTok, right? And then TikTok happened. So tell me why, if you look at my order history, there are 6 separate orders.
Okay.
And it was like one item each. Because I was like, okay, I only need this, and I'm not going to purchase any more from the sale.
Oh.
I bought one. And then it was like, I bought one on the Saturday because the Sephora sale ended on a Monday.
Okay.
I was like, okay, on Saturday, like this is the last thing I'm buying. I can't buy anything else. Oh, well, you know, I'm going to run out of the powder soon. And like, if I'm going to buy it in a month, might as well buy it now. So then I bought something on Sunday. And then I was like, okay, today's the last day. And of course I saw TikTok videos. Oh, this is like, I highly recommend. If
like this is a Grail product.
Yeah, like here's the wish list, like the what I want. And like, these are like, you have to get, like if you're gonna, you know, buy something from the sale, you have to get this. So
You got it.
So I got it all.
Do you like physically have them?
I'll post a pic. Boom.
Okay,
Boom.
right here. That would be a pic.
Boom.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the highlight of my week.
Did you get your shoes yet? Did you get your 990s yet?
I did not. And I submitted a ticket, but then I got a response, and apparently they have an influx, a high volume of tickets. So it's going to take them a bit to respond to me. Because also you can't even return on Goat. It's like
You
credit.
can't?
Oh, that's so annoying.
The app.
Yeah, I like don't order from places that don't give me returns. Yeah.
So
okay.
now I don't really even want them anymore. So we'll see. Let's see how long it takes.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see how long it takes.
Yeah.
Actually, let me share the date right now when I ordered it. Because it's been a while. Like, truly, it's been a while.
Because I listened to that previous podcast when you bought it.
Exactly. And I
I
still
assume
have
that
not.
was filmed a while ago,
No,
right?
yeah, it was
Like,
from.
Goat hasn't even received it yet. They haven't even verified the shoe yet. What date?
She said don't buy.
Okay.
I forget that it's like a resell.
Yeah.
I originally purchased it on March 20th.
Okay.
But then they canceled it, remember? They canceled it. And so I was like, I'm going to buy it again. I feel like I should have taken the sign. Like, it was a sign. Like,
It was
like it's not in your destiny to
Not
own these
happening.
pair of shoes. But I was
Right.
like, I gotta challenge it one more time. And so I purchased it again 4 days later on March 24th. Today, the day of this recording, is April 13th.
3 weeks?
23rd.
if it's only- if it's
I
only
can't-
like-
I think it's been 3 weeks.
Oh, okay, tomorrow it would have been 3 weeks.
Okay, it's
Okay.
It's kind of a long time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's too much.
that's a really long
not even
time.
verify.
Yeah. Like you're gonna get your next period
like,
soon.
exactly.
Like you already have
Yeah.
the period symptoms. Like you're breaking out. Like
Exactly.
you're PMSing.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Like that's,
exactly.
Yeah.
I'm actually the stage after that right now.
Oh,
like
you are?
when the skin clears a little bit and you're like,
Okay, well, good
I'm
for
at
you
that
because
stage.
I'm breaking out everywhere. Literally, I woke up with like 2 new painful pimples.
uninvited.
Oh, and then like
unwelcome.
people, like my friends have been going on Accutane. And I'm like, should I go on Accutane? But then I feel like I've gone so long without going on Accutane that I don't want to, but I just like don't know what the solution is. My skin is just stressing me out. So that's one of my updates. But also, I cried a lot last week on our episode, and I think it's because of my period. I think I'm gonna start my period, and so I was like, oh, that's very invalidating. So per usual,
Sorry, I laughed so much at you crying.
dude.
Wait, I didn't. You guys talked about 25-21, right?
Oh.
Okay, I did not listen or watch
Yeah,
it
yeah.
at all. So I don't know what happened.
Okay,
but
okay,
I'm
we won't
watching it
spoil.
this. I'm watching it this
Weekend.
Sunday with my best friend because she's flying down. So like, we're like, okay, we have to watch it at the end because I've been like squealing so much alone, and I'm
Yes.
like, I need to watch
I
it
need
with
energy.
someone.
Yeah.
Oh, please
Yeah.
tell me you were like crying.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Okay.
I'm a crier.
That's normal. That's normal. The episode was very emotional, very sad. Hannah cried like one episode.
I don't know what
Do
it
you normally
was.
cry?
I usually cry.
She's a crier. She's
I'm a crier as well. I identify as a crier. Yeah. I'd like to come out as a crier because I do be crying, but I didn't cry. I didn't
Oh my
cry in
God,
the episode.
interesting.
But then
Okay.
we were recording about 25-21.
yeah. And then
And
it
I
just
was
came out.
bawling. I was bawling during our recording, and I have never done that
It
before.
came out of nowhere, and it wasn't like that. It wasn't like a
Like a cute
teardrop.
little tear.
Like no, it was like a snot coming out of the nose. Like it was like like it just kind of cry.
My nose is still dry.
Like mine is
you know
too,
what
but I think
mean?
mine's
It like
allergies.
hurts. It like
Oh,
hurts.
no.
Everything's peeling.
Oh, no.
But yeah, Julie cried. Julie was laughing at me so much during my crying
Sorry,
phase.
I'm so
I was
sorry.
like, dude, that is a great description of our personalities. Like, I feel like she just like kind of laughs at people's pain, but that's fine.
No, I wasn't laughing at you crying.
What were you laughing at? She was
I was laughing. Okay, I was laughing at the sudden change of emotion because it was so like, you know, like
Sudden, just the
180.
switch.
You know, it was. You started off your check-in with, "I had a great week." Like I had a great week. It was such a good week. Work is going well. Verbatim. Work is going well. I feel motivated. And then I went to a friend wedding, and then it was just like waterworks, and I was like. I was not expecting that. So that's why. But,
yes. Yeah. So we had a very eventful last episode, including the fact that I learned my lesson and I should not be making bets with Julie.
Yes.
Because I actually went to California Market today and we got.
I was wondering what that huge bag was.
You guys.
So I had to get Julie $57 worth
no,
of
no, no.
Korean.
It was 47, and then she
47.
lost the second bet, and so it went up to 50.
Okay, so should we do a haul?
Oh yes, please.
Grilled corn almonds. We got Ace crackers, Injure
Wow.
Me shrimp. We got Julie's
my
favorite
gosh!
finches. I got her candy.
I was looking for these.
Oh, were you?
Well, I was looking for these because I was bringing so many like Asian snacks to the office. And so I gave my boss one, and my boss's kid stole it from his desk at home. And she's this little girl, like maybe 4 or 5 years old. And she was like, "Dad, like, can you like ask that girl at your work to bring more of these candies?" And so I went to 2 markets, you know, where we live, where, you know, I live, and they were out.
Oh, well.
So I will spare one of these.
Okay,
For not my
literally
mouth.
just one. And so here is so much money
gosh.
worth of snacks. I was literally just grabbing them. Oh, and then we closed my laptop.
Oh my god, I didn't even tell you about this one. But I was thinking it.
Oh, were you?
Can I be honest? I was thinking about sending her a list. Like, all right, what snacks would I want? But I'm grateful for anything. So
I think I did a great job.
but I think you did. Like those sun chips were definitely in my mind. And I requested the benches.
Yeah, and I know you like all the almonds, but they only had the off-brand, so I just decided to get those.
Yeah, here's another one, you guys.
Yeah.
Garlic bread almond. Have you tried these before?
I haven't.
They are so addicting.
And so
Super addicting.
I was literally just grabbing things, and I know I needed to spend $50, but I love going above and beyond. So I spent $79.62, and so I'm gonna need
options?
to I'm gonna need to take away $29.62.
Okay, fine.
Fine. Or how about we eat $29.62 worth of snacks right now?
Okay.
Please go ahead and calculate per almond. per chip. Please go ahead and calculate. No, I'm just kidding. We'll just you can munch on them.
Shirley,
Please.
whatever you want. First pick.
Take your
Please.
pick.
Yeah,
Oh my
take
God,
your
this
pick.
is literally crazy.
Funny.
Yeah, and so I feel like, last week's episode, it really impacted my life. I put down $79.62, and also I've been losing sleep over Julie's favorite drama.
Oh yeah.
I've been watching her favorite drama.
Yeah, I wonder if you saw it.
She was pretty. It looks like this. And
Wait,
it's,
what's? Oh yeah, what? 2015?
Yeah.
That's like kind of old, you guys. Seven years ago.
So
Yeah, that's-
Park Seo-joon. That's why I lost the bet, because I thought he was in
Startup.
Oh, I have not watched Startup.
Oh,
yet.
yeah,
I've
yeah,
only
yeah.
watched.
Good job. Because I feel like when you watch a drama while it's still airing, it's so difficult because, right? You watch 60 minutes and then you have to wait 5 more days, and it's kind of like self-torture.
Yeah.
But when you know something's good, the drama has ended, then you could just like binge watch it.
No, I've only like recently gotten back into K-dramas because like I watched my first one in 8th grade, could not concentrate on school or anything, go home, finish homework in like 10 minutes and just like a binge watch. And then the last episode I was just like sobbing. I had like a pile of tissues in front of me and I was like, I can't watch K-dramas anymore. Like I'm swearing off them.
Yeah.
And then now I'm back because I watched Crash Landing on You and like I feel secure in my job. I feel like I have time. So now I'm back. I watched that one and Our Beloved Summer.
Also,
Yeah.
definitely, like, literally both my roommates don't watch any Korean dramas with me because they said, like, it gets them too simpy. Like, they just, like, are, like, hopeless romantics. And then I was like, do you know what? I think this is ruining my sense of, like, love.
Wait, like in a good way or in a bad way?
Bad
Like, it's like
way.
unrealistic. Like, it's unrealistic. Like, it's actually unrealistic. like,
Not me, like, considering. Speaking as someone who's never been in a relationship, I mean, Julie, I know you're in a relationship right now, right?
But,
Is
like,
it
that's-
realistic? Or, I mean, you've been in one too. Like,
yeah, it's.
are
I
they?
mean, no, it's not like that. All right,
But would
let's
you
start-
want it like
Okay,
that? I feel
well-
like they make it so, like, romanticized. That, like,
Yeah.
Okay, it's unrealistic. It's unrealistic, but also, isn't that why we have like movies and dramas in the first place?
For it to be unrealistic. Yeah, that's
it's
true.
like it's like
fulfills
It's supposed to
a
be.
need, a dream.
yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
fiction. It's fiction.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I just need to remind myself of that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I do be comparing my life to literally all the K-dramas. I'm like, this cannot be healthy for me. But yeah, I mean, we started out the episode with Julie's haul, and I
Yeah.
will say that Julie has been literally infecting me. Like, okay, I know that I'm infected because look at my tabs, guys. It's literally like return and exchange policy.
Always.
I've been looking at
Cute.
Mary Jane's.
Cute.
I've been wanting platform Mary Jane's, but then I'm
Okay.
like, is this
They're
is
so
this
you.
trendy? With all
Yeah.
this like fashion talk and everything, and Earth Day coming up.
Yes.
We just wanted to bring Shirley on to our podcast. If you guys are followers of hers on Instagram or YouTube, and do you have a TikTok as well?
I do, but I, like, don't get it, so I haven't. Or like I haven't put in the time onto it yet.
Yeah.
So
It's difficult.
Not
Actually,
as
it's not
much.
difficult.
It's just time consuming.
It is.
it's
It
very
really
time
is.
consuming. I like haven't figured out how to edit on the app, so then I like edit on Final Cut.
Yeah.
And it's like
And then you
there must be
import
an-
it.
I was like, is everyone doing this? Like
Yeah, and then you press one wrong button and you delete the entire video. And
yeah.
But yeah, she
Anyway.
is classified closet, right? Single closet, not closets.
Correct. One closet. Classified closet.
Okay, beautiful. So if you guys want to check out her content, please go ahead and do so. But
Yes.
yeah, we just kind of wanted to talk about kind of like sustainability, just like our consumption habits. Because to be honest, I've never really given thought to any of that.
Yeah.
Though I do consider myself sustainable because I'd be ripping holes in my leggings because I've had them for literally like 9 years.
oh yeah, like her Lululemon ones are back from. I'm not gonna release the date, but you remember when they used to be really bright colored bands on the top?
Gosh.
Wow.
You know? You know what I'm talking about.
You're sustainable.
Yeah. From the teal bag seaweeds days, you know?
Wow.
So
Yeah.
yeah, real sustainable. So I'm right there on the same boat as you. I don't think I'm a non-conscious consumer, but why'd you give me the look? I mean, okay, I shop a lot, but I feel like I'm the type that I wear every piece in my closet. Where growing up, my mom would be like to my sister, like, you have this too. We bought this for you. Like,
Why are the tags
why are you
similar?
why are you only wearing the same like 3-4 outfits? Like you have all, and she's like, I don't have any clothes, but you know, you do. She's not like that anymore. She's probably way more. She really is all about sustainable fashion. But how did you become a sustainable content creator into just this world of sustainability?
Yeah. Well, so I started blogging in general in 8th grade. So like super early.
Oh, she's on it.
I know.
She's an OG.
Yeah.
That was back when like I feel like blogs are still popular now, but maybe not as much so. I feel like video content's a lot bigger, but blogs were really popular back then. But I really wanted to make a YouTube channel was my ultimate goal. But I was too scared for that. So I was like, I'm just gonna start with the blog first. And all of my so I started with the blog and then I started with the YouTube channel, and they were all fashion related, but definitely more so just like showing my personal style and like following trends and like doing hauls and, you know, outfit of the weeks and like lookbooks and things like that. And it wasn't until like pretty recently, actually, just like 2020, where I like made the conscious decision to switch to more like sustainable focused content. So before then, it's always been something that I was interested in. I was like, obviously, I mean, like we grew up just like reduce, reuse, recycle is like
The
drilled into our minds.
Yeah.
So like we know the earth is, you know, dying and all those things. And so I've always known about it. But then 2020, for some reason, this was in like January. It was like before I was going on a family trip to Hawaii. And this was when like the Australian wildfires were happening.
I
And
remember the koalas.
Yes.
I remember.
Yeah. And I don't know why that particular event just like hit me so much, but I remember I was like at LAX at like the departures.
Yeah, departures.
Yes, departures area. And I was like writing a new post or like a caption, and like this was in January, so it was also like New Year's resolutions and things like that. And I was like, okay, I think like I want to actually be serious about this. I think I want to actually be conscious about how I'm consuming. And for some reason, like the big unlock or like that first big step for me was like unsubscribing from fast fashion newsletters, so like Madewell or like Zara, things like that, because I'm a Madewell girly, so I was like addicted. And for some reason that was like the big thing where I was like, okay, that was my like first, I guess, like step into the whole thing officially, where I was like, if I'm actually serious about this, I do want to make sure, you know, like my actions follow it at some point. So
But like you unsubscribe because if you were subscribed to it, then you would get their newsletters and then you'd want the item?
yeah.
Okay.
And then I'm like more tempted, and then I'm like kind of supporting them too, and like I feel like, because you know how there's that whole thing with like curating like your Instagram feed, like who you're following and like all that stuff. So it's similar to that, where if I was like seeing Madewell stuff all the time or like in my inbox and stuff, that's just like becomes part of my world still. And like I wanted to really curate my, you know, following list and what I was constantly seeing on my phone to be more like sustainably or like climate driven.
Okay.
So even like thinking about who I was following, I would like unfollow certain people who were, you know, maybe just pushing trends or like not really talking about the sustainable aspect and things like that. And I feel like just like how there's that saying where like you are like the 5 people closest to you or something.
You are the average of the 5 around you.
Yeah, so just like that, I feel like social media is the same way. So just like thinking about who I'm following. That's how I started. That was like my first step, January 2020.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Here I am now.
So from what you said, I think you used the word sustainability obviously a couple times there, but how would you define sustainable fashion specifically, or just even to you, like what does it mean? Like personally, like being sustainable, what does that mean to you?
Yeah, I feel like I always use it pretty like interchangeably, I guess. When it comes to fashion, it's like more specific with like materials or like more planet focused. And then there's like ethical fashion. So that's like
Which is like a branch of what, like you said,
I
like
think so. I think like at the top would be like conscious consumption maybe.
Okay.
Or like conscious fashion. And then I think there's like sustainable and ethical.
Okay.
So ethical is more about, at least to me, I think it's more about like the wages and like the workers and the production and all that. And then conscious is kind of that overarching of like how are you consciously, you know, consuming or like thinking about what you're purchasing and like what you're doing.
That makes sense. Yeah. Because, I mean, when we had spoke before this, you kind of mentioned like how you wanted to differentiate between being a conscious consumer versus like sustainability. Because I think oftentimes like one of the only terms, at least I've heard, is like sustainable fashion. And when I think that, I'm like, oh, it's going to be an expensive piece. It's going to be like Reformation. Like that's literally maybe the only sustainable brand that I actually know of in terms of fashion. And so
maybe like, I think because the word sustainable in media has probably been like played up so much to like it feels unattainable or like it feels like you have to be perfect. And I think that was the big thing when I first started. I thought like I had to, you know, wear certain brands like Reformation or like other sustainable brands, like those were the only brands I could wear, and like it looks like, you know, all the mason jars and like all the stuff, like the typical thing. And that's what I thought I had to do in order to almost like prove myself.
Yeah.
And so I think hearing the term being just a more conscious consumer helped me, where I was like, okay, so it's not necessarily about, you know, you shouldn't have to change your entire life to like fit into the mold of, you know, what you think being a sustainable consumer is. I think being a conscious consumer is like, for me, it feels like it's starting at where you are now, and then going forward you're being more conscious about like each, you know, whether it's each new item you're purchasing or whatever you're doing, or like wearing the clothes that you already own and taking those more conscious steps versus I think just like that drastic shift.
Yeah.
I have a comment. I didn't know sustainability equated like expensive. I just thought it meant like a piece you could wear many, many times. So I guess a bit more basic is what I thought sustainability meant.
Oh.
I think that's still right though. I think there's so many angles to the definition. I think that's like totally right. More sustainable is like,
mine's
like
totally right, Hannah.
It's like wearing the piece like multiple times and things like that. But I think there's also, I guess, when you're like shopping or something and you're looking for like a sustainable dress, I think it like tends to be more expensive, obviously, because it's like better materials and, you know, the workers are being paid better.
Yes.
And all those things. So definitely.
Yeah. Don't hate me if I say this. I like no hatred towards this brand, but for example, like H&M, my mom will always say like the clothing here for her are pieces of clothing she'd probably wear like a couple times and throw out, because probably by 3-4 washes, the seaming is like getting undone, or it's like there's holes in it and whatnot. So I guess that does make sense. Yeah. Which is funny. And I have a comment about the good material part. But before that, I actually have another question. But remind me of Reformation.
Okay.
Remind me of Reformation. So you mentioned just like your first step was to unsubscribe to company newsletters like Madewell and Zara. So does that mean you don't shop from them anymore, or that is the ultimate goal?
Yeah, I think that's another very interesting part too, where like that's what I thought too. Like I thought, okay, I can't buy like from any fast fashion company. And I was like so nervous, especially like as I'm posting things on social media. I'm like, oh my God, like if I if I like wear something like, they're gonna come
that Zara.
yeah. So I was definitely like really nervous about that, and I think as I've continued to grow in this journey, I guess I think there's definitely different levels to it. Like I think at the end of the day, it does come back to being a conscious consumer. So like I will be honest. I'm currently wearing Madewell overalls that I bought new.
It's cute.
They are cute.
But this like I think it's all about it's about like how you buy it, I guess, and like the process that you mentally take before you make a new purchase. So like I still purchase fast fashion, but I normally, if I do purchase it, it's typically on like a secondhand store or like Poshmark or Depop. This one I did purchase like from the store, and that was because it was like I wanted to know my right size, and like I knew I would wear it a bunch.
It looks like a nice spring summer piece.
And like I wanted it for a long time, and like all this stuff. So like I try and mentally go through like all those things, but typically because sometimes like when you make that switch, like it is easier buying from fast fashion because you like know your size and like all those things. So for example, I like bought a wedding dress or like a dress for a wedding recently, and I like loved the dress because I saw it on my friend, and she said it was from H&M, and I was like, okay, so I like I can't do it, like I can't buy on there. And I think for this like H&M dress, I think most of the time you can find it on like Poshmark or on Depop. So I go through like different steps. So the first thing I would do I would search it on Depop or Poshmark and like see if I can buy it secondhand. And then that makes me feel better because typically that person's like, if they're not going to sell it, they're probably just going to like donate it or it's going to go to the landfills. So at least ultimately it's like extending the product's life cycle, which is the goal. And then if I'm trying to get rid of something, I mean, typically I'll also like wear it to shreds and like wear it for however long I want. And like and then if it's small enough or something, like my mom will use it as like a rag or like, repurpose it as something.
I remember growing up, my aunts, they would get like the t-shirts that they wouldn't wear anymore and put it on the car. Like in the car, the actual seat. Have you ever seen Korean parents do that?
Like on the car seat, like the headrest?
So that it's not hot. Like they'll right?
Right? So on the actual car seat. Yeah. But none of their cars were ever leather. It was like the regular like soft cloth. But I remember they would like and I don't know, it just left such an image in my head. And then just reminded me because she said, your mom would use it as rags, which my mom does that too, like our older clothes. But
so like thinking about when you're getting rid of something, how can you repurpose it, if anything? If not, then I would, if it's good to wear still, I'll usually have like my friends or something come and like take it if they want it, so then like they'll wear it. And if it doesn't fit them, then I'll like try and sell whatever I think will sell, and then if not, then I'll like take the remaining, I'll go to like Crossroads or Buffalo Exchange or something, and after that I'll like donate it. And there's like lots of, there's obviously Goodwill and places like that, but there's also a lot of clothing brand companies that there's like one brand called 4 Days, and they do take back bags. So you like order it online, they give you this bag, you put all the clothes in there, and then they take the pieces and they like recycle it into like insulation or like new materials and things like that. So I feel like it's all about just like being more, I feel like this is just the buzzword of the episode, but just being more conscious of how you are going through the whole process.
What was our buzzword? A couple
well, I think our buzzword for literally the entirety of our podcast has been awareness, which is literally being conscious. So that completely makes sense.
Yeah. So I know, okay, remember my question that was on the back burner, but now I have a new question in the back burner, and I'm going to approach the very first question. Sorry, there's just so many, because I feel like I'm just learning, because I think I'm a really good mix between, yes, I do tend to shop depending on the trend, but I think knowing my body type and what looks good on like me, I'm not always like following the trend. You know what I mean? I feel like I have a lot of basic pieces. And you know what? We live in Southern California. If you can wear it, spring, summer, fall, winter, even better, right? But so I'm like those are the things I think about. I think I could definitely maybe think harder about the ethical part of it. When I'm shopping, I have to be honest, I'm not really thinking about like, where was this made? Like, how was this made? But okay, so approaching the real question I had in the back. So Reformation. right? We brought that up about sustainability. And Hannah and I, right before the episode, as we are trying to just define sustainability, like really, what is it? I don't know. We're just kind of bouncing ideas. And it's funny you brought up wedding, because that was exactly our example too, right? I had recently bought a dress from Reformation for a wedding. And I was like, I don't know how that's sustainable though, because their pieces are very expensive. And I feel like if you shop or cruise through the website, you see somebody in a Reformation dress and you know it's from Reformation, right? They don't have like too many pieces. So you end up wearing the dresses, I don't know, 1 or 2 times, and you don't wear it again.
Right.
I would say the larger majority usually, you wear a dress to a wedding. You'll maybe wear it to another event like 6 months from then. And I don't know, maybe one more time the next year, but it's not like
a basic.
It's not like this piece where I've owned since, junior year of college. And so my question was just like, how is that being sustainable? But I've learned so much. Like just within this recording, and it was a question I had, and I was like, I gotta ask Shirley, like, how is that being sustainable? And I feel like my question's been answered because it's expensive. The material is good, and I was just thinking maybe it's sustainable because I wouldn't throw it out right away.
Well, I think it comes down to like how you're prioritizing what it means to be sustainable. So like, I think the first priority is to wear what you already own, and the second part would probably be more like how you're purchasing or like who you're supporting. So I think like in your case, or like in this case, like maybe you could have worn like a dress you already owned, like that probably would have been like, that would have been the most sustainable, right?
Yeah.
And then maybe the next would have been like, if you wanted a Reformation dress, maybe purchasing it from like a secondhand like shop, like
Poshmark.
Yeah. Or something. Because like that person's going to get rid of it.
Yeah.
But I think like purchasing from them is sustainable. And then now it's like, it's sustainable because of the materials they're using and like how they're paying their workers. But also now that you own it, it's more about like, how else are you gonna like wear it? Like maybe wearing it casually, or like, maybe you don't have to wear it on events. I don't know what the dress looks like, but like throwing a t-shirt over it to be casual. Like, So thinking about how you can, going back to that life cycle thing, I guess, like how you can extend that life cycle of the product. And like, if you don't like it, like maybe instead of throwing it out, like would you give it to a friend or sell it or like pass it along? And like, how can you make that thing last as long as possible?
Because actually our friends had talked about doing like a closet swap, and we never did it.
It's how have we never done?
Because there's we have 9 girls. We have 9 closets.
That would be so fun.
And like I think we're relatively all like Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. Like we all could do it for sure.
I think I have to be honest. I think I'm always like a little scared of that. I'm not like our group of friends specifically. Why? Because I was in a sorority, right? And so that was definitely a thing, sharing dresses, because there's so many like formals and date nights, and like when other girls are invited to like the frat date nights and formals, and oh my gosh, I know so many horror stories of like got their dress back, but there was a piece of gum stuck on the at the bottom of the dress, or never got their dress back and saw somebody else wearing it, and they're like, no, this is mine, but it was clearly theirs because there were like details. Details that it was clearly theirs. So I just feel like there are too many horror stories.
Well, like maybe instead of a swap, it is just like the clothes that you want to get rid of, like that you want to pass out. So it's like they're taking it, like it's yours now. Yeah. Like I won't want it back.
Would have such a great yard sale if all of us just brought like 10 pieces. That's 90 pieces.
That's a lot.
10 pieces?
Or 90 pieces is a lot.
Yeah.
Like, I think that would be great, actually. Yeah. Okay, ideas.
And then that could fund our next trip or something. Or next dinner or something like that.
We'll put it in a bucket. Okay. Honestly, I think that's a great idea. Yeah, because I almost feel like now listening to you, I do think I almost consciously I guess go through like these mental checklists of like, do I have something like this? Like even like I bought this pair of like white jeans, but I think that like looking at the material and the quality, like I literally asked like 6 people around me, they're like, Hannah,
they're cute.
I don't know, like they're so cute, but I don't know if we could justify it, right? But my justification was I don't I've never found white pants that look good on me that I like.
Yeah.
And I have worn them. Guys, the first week I got them, I literally wore them like 4 times, like every single day. Like I was like, I just love these. Like I've lived in them, and I even think like
They look good on you. I know which ones you're talking about.
I don't think well, they're the only white pants I own. They're literally the only white pants I own. So I almost feel like unconsciously I've been doing this, but it's good to hear that like that there is like a checklist that you can go through that makes it kind of like easy to like check if your decision is like, I don't want to say justified because like, you know, if you want it, like do it, but you know, that it aligns with maybe like if sustainability or conscious consumption is like one of your values, that it aligns with one of those. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to think like while we're talking, I'm trying to like rate myself, like how conscious how much of a conscious consumer am I? And I mean, that's always my mentality is I'd rather buy one really good piece if I was purchasing something than purchasing something that's going to break on me or like, so in that sense, I think I'm the scale kind of went up. But then when everything you buy is so expensive, she's just like,
bougie.
go back a bit.
You're just bougie. Yeah.
Go back a bit. So awesome.
I do have one dilemma for you. I have a question.
Okay.
This is so bad to admit. If my mom listens to this, she's gonna be real mad. But I think I have this thing where I will rewear a lot of my pieces, like a lot of my casual pieces. Like I wear statement things all the time. Like literally, people at church are like,
This is pretty statement.
okay, like. It's either cheetah print or it's like a bright color. Like I rewear
Like
my
lime.
like lime green
Yeah. I
bright
love
thing
it.
like all the time. But I do think that like once I post on Instagram, for example, I never want to wear the piece again. And so I guess like from your point of view,
Shirley's judging you hard right now.
do you ever feel like that, or do you have any like tips? Like I feel like
Yeah.
once I post, it's like I never want to be seen in it in real life.
Oh my God. I 100% can relate to that. I think that was like a big internal dilemma when I had like switched to being like more of a sustainable focused blogger. Cause like even with fashion bloggers, I would post a haul or like would do a lookbook or post an outfit and then be like, okay, well I can't ever post a picture in this outfit again because then I would be repeating. Yeah. And then I was like thinking about it and I was like, okay, but realistically, like this is what I wear every single day. Like I'm not wearing a new outfit every single day of my life. Like I don't have new pieces every day. And I feel like maybe it's like a bigger conversation of like social media and like us wanting to curate a certain image of ourselves. But I think for me, at least, it helped a lot to remember that in reality. And like I think I wanted to be more real to like how I actually dress, and like I do obviously like rewear pieces a lot, and that is also part of the whole, you know, being more sustainable, because like it's just, you know, like even when you see your friends like in high school and like stuff like that, it's like I wear basically the same stuff like every other week, you know?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like, there's a rotation going for sure. I'm
exactly.
like, I have to mental check. I'm like, did I
wear this
yesterday?
Yeah. And it's like, I think if you think about it from the other perspective too, it's like, do you ever see your friend wearing something and think like, oh, they wore that like 5 times already or something? Like, I don't think we would ever think that. But, and like, it's, you know, it's not like we're expecting everyone to have like a new wardrobe every single day either. So did that help?
No, I think that completely helped. I think it's just like a literal mental block.
Yeah.
I need to like not kill off the life cycle of my clothes by posting on Instagram and feeling conscious about it.
Also, okay, I guess the thought I also had while you were sharing that was like that lifestyle is so unsustainable because you could, right? If you really didn't want to repeat, you could just like sell clothing. But knowing myself and being realistic, you know, you'd sell something, you'd be like, you forget you sell it and you think you have, and you're like, oh yeah, I have this piece, but then you remember you sold it, and it's gonna be like, no, I gave that away, so I don't even have that.
Yeah.
So if you have an attachment issue with your clothing, it's very unsustainable to just keep buying new things. So unless you're gonna like cycle through it like every season or every 6 months, maybe a year, be okay with it.
Okay.
That's the solution.
Yeah, you're
Be okay
right.
with it.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. That was unhelpful. Shirley was helpful. That was unhelpful. Thank you so much. But okay, in order to be a little bit helpful, I guess, do you have tips for maybe like how we could kind of incorporate being a conscious consumer? Just like easy ones off the top of your head.
Yeah. Well, I think the first one is that like being more just like wearing what you already own before you go out and like think about purchasing other stuff, or like when you are, you know, wanting to purchase something, thinking about, you know, do you have something similar in your closet or not, and going through that mental checklist. And then past that, you know, even when you're purchasing something, my go-to now is thinking like, can I get it secondhand? Like there must be someone who doesn't want this like out in the world, right? But then also being okay with like that taking a while. Like that H&M dress that I found, I wanted it 2 years ago, but then I like didn't need it.
Right.
And I was like, okay, I'm not gonna wear it. And then my coworker's wedding came around and I was like, I have to find it. I have to wear it. And so I was like searching, and like the first search I went through, like I didn't find anyone that had my size, and it was like kind of expensive. So I was like, okay, I'll just like check tomorrow. And then I just like kept checking, and two things will happen. One, either you're gonna be like over it and you're like, okay, I don't actually want the dress anymore, so whatever.
Right.
Or you like do find one and you're like, okay, great. And then you get to, you know, you get like a new clothing piece, but it's, you know, secondhand and it's sustainable and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
I feel like that process, even like because it takes so long, it makes you think about it. Like it makes you like have to actually pause and think about it.
Shoes.
No.
Like the shoes.
Yeah.
I wanted it so bad in the moment, but it's been 3 weeks now, and I'm like, I think I could use the money for something else now. Like I don't really want it anymore.
Oh, I like that.
So it's almost like putting mental blocks for yourself, like barriers, like obstacles to go through almost. And then by the end of it, it's almost like...
especially for an impulsive shopper.
30-minute span. She placed like 12 orders.
Oh my
God.
I think my third tip is, we didn't talk about it too much, but I think, well, a little bit, like how I said my mom like repurposes to like use it, t-shirts as rags and like you just put it on car seats or something like that. I think one of the big things I learned was like, I always thought my journey had to look a specific way, right? And I was like, okay, I'm not sustainable because I like use this and I like, it doesn't look aesthetic. I think like that was a big thing where like, you know, when you first start, it's like, okay, how do I make this look aesthetic and cute?
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh shoot, like I've grown up in a pretty sustainable or like very conscious household. Like I will, like, even though I purchase from fast fashion places, it's like I've owned this t-shirt for like 10 years, right?
Right.
And like my parents have always been like, it's fine, like why would you throw it out? Or like if it's ripped or whatever, they'll reuse it for something else. So I think like not being too hard on yourself for your journey too, and also thinking about maybe ways that you have been sustainable like growing up, or like anything you can learn from your parents, or like the little practices that they've done that are maybe second nature to you, but it's like, no, it's actually like a very good thing. Like we've like saving like plastic bags. I like had no idea why we did that, but like we always would do that.
My trash cans are all, you know, right in my room. My trash bags are, I have a trash can, but I never use the trash can. It's always a plastic bag, like hung on my doorknob.
Wait, question. Have you ever washed a Ziploc bag?
I actually have. I have.
Like all the new ones with like the new like reusable bags. I'm like, I just reuse this.
Well, Ziploc bags, I feel so bad throwing those away.
Like,
because you use them like once.
The freezer ones.
I feel so bad. And then, you know, when you buy a pack of those, it's like the snack size and the large size and the regular snack size, and you always run out of the snack size first. So when you keep buying, like obviously because Costco, it's the jumbo sizes, then we just have a bunch of the large Ziploc bags, and we're always so low on the snack size.
Yeah.
So by the end, when we only have a couple left, you're reusing.
Just gotta wash them.
Yeah. But any final questions for Shirley?
I don't know how I feel about myself right now. Like I feel like I'm not in a bad or good way. Just it's good to think about. Yeah, it's good to think about. I think I just like haven't really thought about it, because like going back to my shoe example too. If it did come in time, I probably just would have worn it.
Right.
Yeah.
But not everybody gives themselves that time for the buffer.
Right.
Yeah. And I think like totally like I mean, fashion is supposed to be fun, right? And like I think that was one part that I almost missed, because I think I went too much on the other side where I was like, I can't buy, you know, any trendy stuff at all, or like things like that. And the first step is definitely just like being more aware before you're purchasing.
For sure.
Yeah. I also like what you had to say about like kind of being patient, because I think a lot of the times the reason I like purchase from like fast fashion brands is because it's convenient. Like, right? Like it's going to take a long time for me to like thrift a piece, or like oftentimes I will like, you know, like you said, like I'll be searching for it like for a couple days, and then honestly, I'm not searching for it. I just like have the tab open, and then my computer shuts down because I have too many tabs open, and then I don't think about it anymore. I have like so many folders of like need to buy or like want to buy, and I just never get it. But yeah, I like what you had to say, because I do think like creating like those barriers is a good way to like actually ask yourself if you like want it or not.
Yeah, or even like my friend had a tip of like making a wish list, maybe like writing it down on your notes or something instead of having it up on the tab where like you can't see it every day. And then just like maybe put it aside, maybe give yourself like, I don't know, like a week or like 2 weeks or something, and then see if you're still thinking about it, and then like go from there.
Yeah. But wow. Yeah. Thank you so much. I feel like this was, I'm a little shook. I think I need to like, yeah.
Like, I just said that I was like, I feel good and bad, but now I'm just like,
I'm gonna re-examine everything in my closet. I'm gonna do like a little audit.
I'm impulsive, and I'm all about efficiency, and I'm all about convenience, and so I'm just like, oh no.
It's okay.
Oh, no.
We are also, there's also like, I don't know if this makes you feel better, but there's no ethical consumption under capitalism. So like no one's ever gonna be perfect just because we are in a capitalistic society. So like all the trends, all the stores, like everything is built to make you want to buy more stuff. So it's definitely hard, and like that's why it's so difficult, you know. But
yeah, so hopefully it's Julie deleting her Instagram also.
Yeah, I deleted it.
You did?
Yeah.
I think it would help.
I was kind of extreme, right? It's not like I didn't unfollow people. I didn't. It was just delete the app.
Yeah. It honestly scares me that like I type in her username and it just doesn't show up.
That is weird.
It's like actually terrifying.
I don't know if I could do that.
Yeah. But speaking of Instagram, can you go ahead and plug all of your social channels?
Yeah. You can find me on Instagram at Classified Closet, or YouTube at Classified Closet. Closet. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Please go ahead and give her a follow, a like, comment, subscribe, and then don't forget to follow us on TikTok and Instagram at bulgogi.podcast. Also, find us on YouTube at bulgogi podcast.
The 25-21 episode, you guys. I think visually it was so excited. Fun to watch.
Oh yes, and if you aren't an Apple Music person, you can actually watch the video podcast on Spotify.
Yes. Really? I didn't know that.
Whoa. Yeah, it's crazy. Cool. It's literally in app. And then on Twitter, Bulgogi Podcast. And then me on Instagram at HANAKATTT.
And me on TikTok at BEJULFIED.
Cute.
Are you ready?
I think so.
1, 2, 3. Ooh. She knew. Okay, a legitimate one. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Ooh.
I know, I stayed consistent. She changed it up. She was so confused. She was